You know what? They right. We used to have 8 choirs. Yo, you know what? You're right. Those sermons used to be powerful. You know what? You right. We used to throw up a tent and it'd be full of people. And what you don't realize is you have allowed yourself to be shifted into opposition with God by the rabble who have greedy desires. Text says that the few motivated the many, and the many then cried out to God. And watch what they say. Who will give us meat to eat? Can you hear that? That's how you complain in the wilderness. Who will give us meat? Who will give us meat to eat? Now watch this, y'all. Oh, we remember the fish. Y'all remember on Fridays we used to have the fish fry? Down over there on 5th? Y'all remember?
I remember fish fry.
Oh my God, the cod, I remember. Yeah, we used to have fish. I remember. We used to sit and eat in Egypt freely. Let me translate what's being said. I remember we used to eat freely in slavery.
Wow.
That sounds kind of oxymoronic. How you gonna do anything freely in slavery? I remember. Watch this thing. Oh, this ain't part of the sermon. Throw away, keep it if you want to. Oftentimes, the memories of discontent are cloudily inaccurate. Those sermons may not have been as powerful as you're remembering. The choirs may not have been as good as you're remembering. And the issue, it ain't part of the sermon, is throw away, keep it if you want to. The issue is that while you're remembering the things cloudily, there's no one doing now. But watch this now, let me pause. I'm going to preach a second, but hold on. When we teach this text, oftentimes we, the rabble, if you will use this text as a standing ground, a sounding board, if you will, for the dangers of meat. Don't you remember? They asked for meat in the wilderness, and God killed them. But if you're reading the passage, there's a problem presented in our theology. Because the text says, I remember the meat we used to eat in Egypt. What meat, fam? Oh man, I remember the fish and the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. Fam, ain't none of them meat. I studied, I went into the Hebrews, and maybe this garlic is a specific kind of garlic that comes from pig. I don't know when you last had a leek, but a leek ain't a meat. Which brings us to our pre-point. Again, not part of the sermon, but I need you to understand where we're going in this thing. Throw up on the screen, please, going to take notes. Watch this. This isn't a meat issue. This isn't even a food issue. This is a greed issue. The problem, Elder Leggett, is not that they wanted meat. Can I step out of the passage for a second?
Yeah.
See, my wife can cook. Don't get it twisted. She's good. In fact, when we first got married, my wife banned me from the kitchen for she's gone for 2 years, because she wanted to assert herself. Everybody talking about you can cook, I can cook too. So she banned me from the kitchen. I couldn't cook. My wife is amazing, and if I were to operate in the text, as an example for you, Elder Benson, what I would do is I would come home one day. My wife would have made her patented oatmeal patties. Cream of mushroom, gravy. My stomach is growling now. She has these onions that she does, sauteed. Oh my goodness. You might end the service early and go home. My wife used to make this, those of y'all who went to Oakwood with us, she used to make this cornbread. She called it cornbread. We called it corn cake. It wasn't cornbread. We used to sit down and eat whole pans with our hands as soon as it came out of the oven. My wife cooked, y'all. And the equivalent would be, my wife made her corn cake, made her patented oatmeal patties. She made those sauteed onions and her greens. That's why I married her, fam. Her greens. She cute, but she ain't that cute. It's her greens, y'all. She makes her greens and this specialty dessert, she calls them, I call them bobettes. They're strawberry shortcakes, but they're delicious. She makes them, sets them before me, Valentine's Day. Puts a little bib on me. Got grapes dangling from the ceiling. And as I sit before the spread that she has laid before me, Sister Gloria, I say to her, man, yo, my ex used to make these, yeah. Look at watch this face. Watch this. Some of y'all would have gone to jail. It would have been a Tyler Perry movie in the house. I've been in this kitchen, barefoot and literally pregnant, cooking for hours for you for a Valentine's Day meal. You want to come in here talking about your ex used to do what? Y'all realize, oh, you don't have the context yet. They're sitting in the wilderness. And a couple of chapters earlier, God has just introduced us to the notion of manna. Manna, manna comes from the word ma. It means, what's this? Because when God sent it down, they had seen nothing like it ever. It didn't exist on earth. In fact, in verse 7, we'll read through, go home, read it if you want. In verse 7, it describes manna for you because it knows you've never seen it. God used to every morning, y'all, get up at 3 in the morning, go in his heavenly kitchen, make this manna for my kids. And then he would walk to the edge of heaven, sprinkle it for them. God was the original Salt Bay. The text said that before Israel woke up in the morning, breakfast was served. By the time the dew had dried, it was already on the table. And it was something that was unavailable anywhere else. It was God's special and specific dish. God said, I want to keep you, so I'm going to cook for you on my own. The text describes the flavor as